Hello everyone! Today we're going to be taking a look at surveys, and we're going to take a look at the admin portal, look at the app, and see how to create a survey. And we're going to be using the MilkCrate for Communities app and looking at a specific community that has all of our different features for you to check out called MilkCrate. So we're going to go in there, but you can definitely use this for your own community and your own app. So if you're going to follow along with us to the T, you're going to go ahead and search the App Store for MilkCrate for Communities, and then you're going to download this app. And this app is going to give you access to your community or to our community. It just depends on what community code you put in. So I have downloaded the app, and it's resting there on my phone right there. So I'm going to go ahead and press into it. And since I have already created an account, I'm going to sign in. And then I'm going to use the community code MilkCrate. So again, if you want to see what the app looks like, all of the different features, you can head into the community called MilkCrate and use that community code. I'm going to go ahead and log in. And here we are. So I'm going to want to make a survey. I can see all of my different surveys that I've built in the past over here, but I want to make a new one right now. So I'm going to head into the admin portal. I'm going to head over to surveys. I'm going to start and press new over here. So we're going to create a survey that's called all question types. So we're going to review every single type of question that we have. So all question types. And this description is not going to be visible when you take a survey. So some of our actions, events, locations, it provides a description when you're looking at that specific piece of content, but when you're filling out a survey, it just directly sends you into the survey, so the description is not visible. Currently, the notes is your internal notes section, so if you wanted anything private to say that would never be shown inside the app, you can add that here. We're going to go ahead and enable this so that users are able to see this survey. We're not going to add it as a daily poll, but we could take a look at that, and we may do that at the end of this tutorial. This toggle right here gives you a notification as an admin. It'll send an email to you whenever someone fills out this survey. How many points is a user going to get after they fill out this survey? And then how many hours is the user going to get after they fill out this survey? And this is great for volunteer hours. So I'm going to go ahead and add the date that this survey is now visible to users. So I'm going to add it as today. I'm going to hit apply. And this is the date that a daily poll would show up. And again, we'll probably do that at the end. I'm going to go ahead and add it to a category. So I'm going to take a look at my app and see what categories I have available to me. So I have our example audio and video, example events, get in touch, example locations, and about. We may just add this to example audio and video. And let's change this to example survey or question types. So I'm going to add that into the example, audio and video, and then the visibility. So visibility is very important. This determines who can see your survey and who can see any of your content. So I'm going to say that every single person who downloads this app can see this content or can take this survey. So I'm going to say that it is public. If you wanted anyone who downloads the app and joins a group to see this, then you would select that everyone. And then if you wanted selected groups, you just wanted a specific group to see this, maybe only students or only parents, you could do that selected groups part. But I'm going to say anonymous public. This, again, ensures that everyone will be able to see this regardless of who they are inside the app. I'm not going to add a cover image. It will pull the default cover image from the category. So if we take a look at the example audio and video, This is the default cover image that we see if it was an audio or video. You see the example audio. See, there it is right there. So I am fine with that. I'm not going to add a new cover image. And now let's get into the bread and butter, our questions. So let's go ahead and add our first question. We're going to need a title and a description for every question. So we're going to just go down this entire list of the types. So we're going to do a single select question first. Single select means you can only select one answer from the list. So we're going to do, what is your favorite color? And then again, the description is required. If you don't want to write anything, I would just put a period here. So that is always an option. This required section is if you want to enforce that the user is answering this question. So you can say, yes, I really do want someone to answer this question. They cannot pass to the next question unless they answer this. Now I'm going to start adding my options. So I'm going to say blue, green, yellow. So very short list. And we could even say, if you do not see your favorite color, select the one that is closest. There we go. So we've added our first survey question. So if you want to add more, we're going to go ahead and press this add button down here. We're going to go on to our next type, which is multiple select. So our question is, what cities have you visited? We can say select all that apply. And then I will start adding those cities. So we're going to say Philly, we're going to say Chicago, New York, DC. Okay, let's go on to our next question type, our next question. We're going to do a single line text. So our question is, what is your favorite fruit? So if you wanted to do a single line text, this is just a short little text box. It's 75 characters. So you could do, what is your favorite fruit? Add it below. Go ahead and add our next one, which is the multi-line text. How are you feeling? So this has, I think it's around 2,000 characters is the limit for the multi-line text. So don't worry, this won't be shared with anyone except our admins. So all survey questions are not visible to any other users. Just as a side note, they're only visible to you guys as admins and then to the user after they submit. So we're going to go on to a picture upload. Apologies for the background chitter chatter. Okay, so we're going to do a picture upload. So picture uploads is just a single picture that a user can add. So if you wanted to have a user add multiple pictures, you could add multiple questions that request a picture. So we're going to say, add a picture of your workspace. I'm just going to add a period there. So then our next one is a slider. So this is on a scale. Someone gets to select. So how do you feel? Answer to the best of your abilities. We're going to say that this is a slider. So here we have a minimum value and a maximum value. So let's say a minimum value of 1. a maximum value of 10, and then our minimum value, we need a description for it, a label. So we're going to say bad, and then we're going to say amazing as our maximum, and then we're going to keep on going. Okay, so our next question type, and about this time, if you're doing a long survey, I would go ahead and hit the save button and come back to the and log yourself out of the admin and come back, because sometimes it'll kick you out, and I don't want you to get kicked out of a survey that you're trying to generate. But I'm going to keep going because I think I'm good on time. So we're going to do a date. So what is today's date? Now our system already collects this, but let's say you had, people were filling out a survey for a volunteer opportunity that they just fulfilled. You would want to ask them the date. So you could say, when did you volunteer? So that way you would have both the date that they submitted it and then the date that they volunteered if they do not match. Okay. And then we're going to add our last question type, which is a number. So let's go ahead and select that. So, how many pets do you own? Fish, cats, dogs, any type of pet. Okay, so we've got our number. So now we're going to go ahead and just take a final look over our survey. Everything is looking good. I'm going to go ahead and hit save over here. Awesome. So we have our test survey. So we could look for all question types. So there we go. Example survey, all question types. So we can easily find it in here. And a couple of side notes. At this time, you can still make modifications to the survey. So the types of modifications you can make are deleting questions, or editing the descriptions of each of the responses. So if it's multi-select, you can now add different responses there. But once someone takes the survey, it really solidifies the survey in our database. And it's not encouraged to start changing. So I really encourage you to make the survey properly the first time. Really think it through before you start letting people test it out. You can disable surveys and you can start anew, but if you want to have some quality data that is consistent over time, work through your survey questions at the beginning. Again, we cannot delete survey questions after someone has submitted, and we cannot modify those questions. So just a little disclaimer to you. So now that we've made our survey, we can go ahead and see it inside the app. Now it's not quickly popping up here, right here, but what we're going to do is we're going to close the app and we're going to open it back up. And this gives us a nice quick refresh. It'll take a little bit of time if you don't refresh. So just quickly close it out, open it back up, and we'll be able to see that soon. So let's go in and we can go into our categories, and we can see under example video, audio and video, we can see our example survey, all question types here. So we could go ahead and start taking that, or another place that we can see it is under the surveys tab. And I know there's a lot of surveys here, so we can start all question types. So I can hit the little search. I hit that little search up there, and then there we go. We have those surveys again over here. So we can go ahead and take that survey and start looking at what those questions look like. So if we're taking a look, we've got this first one, which is a single select, and we can see that it's, you can't change the type once you've already created that question. You can delete them right now because no one's taken it, but once I take this, you cannot delete this question. Okay, so what is your favorite color? I'm going to try to hit next because this is required. We can see it really wants me to answer that question. So we're going to go ahead and answer with blue. And then let's see what cities we've been to. Okay. So that was that I hit the wrong button. Okay. So there's that back button over here to go back and forth. This will kick you all the way out of the survey. Okay. So this is our multi-select right down here. Okay, so I can say all of these, and then what is your favorite fruit? So this is that short text, and we see we have 75 characters. We're going to say, is a strawberry a fruit? Is a pear a fruit? Let's do a pear. Is a strawberry a berry or a fruit or both? I think it's both. Anyways, let's keep going. So how are you feeling? We've got 2,000 characters. I am feeling wonderful. So I could keep writing and writing for a while, but I'm just going to say I'm feeling wonderful. I'm going to hit next. So take a picture of your workspace. I already have one, so I'm going to tap and go ahead and upload that photo just like that. Okay, and I'm going to hit next. How do you feel? I feel amazing. Let's put it there just to see. Okay, and then let's hit next. What's today's date? It's perfect. Hit next. How many pets do you own? I own 2. Let's go ahead and submit it. Okay, so we get that nice pop-up up at the bottom. Thanks for taking the survey. And let's take it one more time just so we get some more info. So let's answer it in a different way. Say apple. Okay, we'll see the picture of the floor just so it looks very different. Okay, so now that we've taken the survey a couple of times, we can start looking at the results that we've submitted and that other people have submitted if we're inside the admin. So I'm going to go ahead and hit view results. In here we can see all of the results of those, we took the survey 2 times, so we can see all of that. So we can see there's an even split of the things that I've submitted of my favorite color, blue versus green. You can see, been to New York and DC more times than Philly and Chicago. You can see your favorite fruit. You can see all those responses. We can see all of those long answers, long descriptions. We can see all of those pictures. We can see how you are feeling. What's today's date? How many pets do you own? And we could see it on a time scale, so we could go forward and backwards week by week if we're on that 1 week. So there was nothing that I've submitted previously, so it's going to be blank. I'm going to go back forward. Actually, let's go ahead and hit the 90-day and see what that looks like. So we get a larger time frame. We can go back and forward in time, or we can see just a single day and look at that single day. So now that the survey's been taken, we can also see the results inside of the survey itself under results. So we can say, okay, I want to see it for this past month. Let's see what people have responded. And we can change that date if we would like. We can see we've got the same data, only if someone else had taken the survey, it would have even more data here. All right, there we go. So if we're in the admin portal, we can also export the results. So we can go ahead and click there. We can get a nice export. Let's take a look at that. So as that export loads, another place that you can see a user's activity is under the user activity. So it's not going to show you the full response of the user, but it's going to show you that they have in fact taken that survey. So you can see that I took the survey twice right here. All right, so our export has been generated. So let's take a look at that. So we can see the the username, the date that it was taken, the survey was taken. We can see the username, and we can see all of the responses that were submitted. So you could pair this export with the user export if you wanted to get the names or any specific information about the user and start to do compare and contrast. But you could you could take this file and you could add it into Excel spreadsheets or into Google Data Studio or any other visualization tool that you would like to dig even deeper into the data. All right, I think, so that does end our survey tutorial, but let's go ahead and take a look at poll questions just so we have the ability to look at it. So I think I've already generated a poll. I think I called it April something. Poll question April 6th. So let's go ahead and take a look at that one. So I've already generated this poll question. I have not taken it yet, but we're going to get it to pop up. So if we're taking a look at this home screen, we can see all screens and tiles, and one of these tiles is a poll question. So it is not going to appear on this list unless we have an active poll question for today. So it's great if you want to just randomly ask questions of your users, of your audience, and it will disappear when you don't need it or once they've taken it. So let's take a look. So I've already generated a poll question April 6th. We can change the name, but I'm just going to keep it. And then I'm going to change, so we've got daily poll enabled. We've got the date that we're going to change to today. I'm going to hit apply. We've got our category, anonymous public, and then here's our question type, or our question. And we really only want to use the single select when we're making a poll question. So just create one question. If you're doing a poll question, one question, and it's going to be a single select. And you can add in all of those. And then when the poll pops up, it's actually going to pull the name of the poll, the name of the survey. So just keep that in mind. So we can actually change that to April 27th. So we should be good to go. We've changed our date. Well, let's go ahead and hit save on this. All right, so we can close out the app and open it back up and see if we can see that poll question. So again, it's going to pop up under the survey section, but if you have the poll question, the poll tile, it'll pop up wherever it's supposed to be resting. So let's go into screens and tiles. And there we have it. We have our poll tile. It is now populated, and we can have our users respond to that poll just like that. Look at that. 100% of people have answered blue. We can see the same results if we look into the database or into the admin portal. And that's a nice overview of surveys, poll questions, and how to look at the data. All right, you guys, thanks for joining, and goodbye.